Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Stanley with Stanley Handcrafted, and today we're going to be talking about Etsy and putting your candles on Etsy, and basically a question that comes up a lot, and that is, why am I not getting sales? Not specifically on Etsy, although we're going to kind of focus on that one today, but why am I not getting sales in general? And again, before I get this one started, this is going to be just kind of my own thoughts on this one. Some of this stuff is kind of standard practice as far as why you're not getting sales, but anything I say, again, take it with a grain of salt, because almost everybody has different results with everything that they do. Their own website, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're promoting your candles on, people have different results no matter what you do. So this question came up in the DIY Facebook group. Again, I've got a link for it down in the video description down below. This one comes up quite a bit, and it's basically, I just launched on Etsy or my website or whatever you're launching on, and I haven't gotten any sales, or I've only made 1 or 2 sales, and it's been from friends and family. And of course, a lot of people get frustrated because they see all these people on these things, again, your website, Etsy, Pinterest, anything like that, people talking about how much they make in sales and how many sales they get, but they're forgetting the work that goes into that. And there's a lot of things other than just listing your candles that are gonna help you get sales. The other question that comes up quite a bit that's gonna kind of roll into this whole video is, I've been selling for 2 to 3 months or 4 to 6 months, and I'm just not getting hardly any sales. So I kind of wanted to go into this one and kind of explain some of the, I guess it should be an obvious thing, but a lot of people miss this in the beginning. And that's basically promoting your candles and what to expect in the beginning. And honestly, you're going to expect nothing in the beginning. You're just starting out, you're just getting listed, you're basically jumping into a pool of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions, depending on what you're selling. Whereas candles, you're down in a little bit smaller of a group, which is kind of nice, but you're still jumping into a sea of literally 100,000 plus on Etsy. For example, I just pulled it up on my laptop over here. If you go to Etsy.com, you type in candles, you get a little over 554,000 results. What a lot of people run into is, for some reason, there's a big disconnect in listing your candles and expecting sales right away. So you kind of need to gain perspective on what you're doing. When you list your candles on Etsy, you don't automatically jump to the front page. You're not going to instantly be seen by tens of thousands of people. You could list your candles on Etsy and be seen by nobody for literally months, and I mean a year or more, if we want to be honest about it. Where you're going to get those views is from your own promotion, basically telling everybody about it, and of course things like paying for ads, paying to show up on the front page. But beginning, when you're first starting out, not a lot of people want to pay to get kind of listed on the front page. It's definitely expensive. It's a little cheaper on certain platforms, so you can definitely do it within reason. But a lot of people just want to get out there, put their candles up, and then start getting sales. So a lot of people, when they jump into these things, they don't think about things like, I've talked about it before in some of the other videos, the Facebook algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, and of course Etsy has its own algorithm, and why they list candles on the front page or within the first 10 pages. And that's another thing that you have to be concerned with or think about, is when people go to Etsy and they start typing in candles, unless they type in a specific type of candle, like a candle with sayings or something like that. If somebody's searching that, a lot fewer results than 554,000 are going to pop up. It could be 20 or 30,000. But basically, Etsy's going to load the candles that kind of sell really quick and really well on their website. So a lot of the candles that show up on the front page of Etsy, if you just type in candles, are going to be promoted candles, people that are paying to be on that page, and pages that have thousands of sales on them. So Etsy's going to put the more popular candles on those, basically the front pages. So the likelihood of you actually showing up on the front page is going to be slim to none, most likely impossible. Every once in a while, certain websites or anything like that will put kind of a new candle or a new product on the front page for maybe an hour or so. I don't know how often that happens, but it does happen, just to give kind of everybody a chance to kind of break through, not really go viral, but at least get seen by a few other people. So having said that, and that goes along with everything, I've seen a lot of people in the group talk about they launched their website. A lot of people launch their website and they just wonder why they're not getting sales. And again, that's even a bigger pool. When you launch your website, unless you're telling 1,000 people, nobody knows about it. There is no reason for anybody in the world to know that you just launched your website if you're not telling them. Thousands of websites get launched every single day. Thousands of websites get taken down every single day. So the fact that you're going to show up in a Google search result for candles, again, is going to be slim to none unless you're paying for it. What's up, kitty? You're cramping my style here. All right, while Kiki runs around behind me, we'll continue on with Etsy and Instagram and all this stuff. So that's basically what... It's ridiculous. So that's basically where the promotion comes into this. And the first question I ask people when they say they're not getting sales is, I say, how many people did you tell today? And they usually come back with, well, nobody. And it's like, okay, well, if you tell nobody, who's going to know about it? And that basically goes into kind of trying to change, basically changing your perspective on how to promote these things, how to get it out there, and basically wrap your mind around why you're not getting sales or why people aren't going to it. So it's basically going to put you out there. If you want to make sales on any of these pages, Instagram, Facebook, your website, Etsy, you're basically going to have to tell people every single day that you have a page. And how you're going to tell people that is basically through your posts. You're going to be posting on Instagram, you're going to be posting on Facebook, you're going to be doing website updates. A lot of things like that will help you build an audience that's going to see your candles. Some people say, I've got 200 people following me, but nobody's buying. And again, in the grand scheme of things, 200 people following you it means nothing. A lot of those people might be friends and family. There's a lot of bots and just auto follows that are out there. So basically 200 people following you does not mean that 200 people are seeing your content every day. So you could have 200 people following you and maybe 10 people see your content. So that's why it's important for you to be posting every single day. If you're doing stuff in Etsy, you want to make sure that you're listing stuff with the different hashtags. Different search results will help you show up on more pages, so that the likelihood of you being seen on a site like Etsy is gonna go up quite a bit more. The other problem a lot of people run into is they'll get a lot of sales in the beginning, not realizing that a lot of those sales are coming from family, friends, because they're basically telling everybody that they know at that point in time. Friends and family, those are the easiest ones. Friends, family, coworkers. They get a few sales in the month, maybe the second month, and then afterwards they wonder why they're not getting sales. It usually comes down to the people that you tell, of course, are going to support you in the beginning, but how many people need candles every single week? If you're telling your friends and your family, they might buy some. Most people buy candles once a month, once every 2 months, so those sales kind of make sense when you think about it in that way. That's why it's good to kind of break out of your friends and family, coworkers and everything like that, and start promoting yourself and telling more people about that. So basically it's going to come down to the more people you tell, you're going to have a better percentage of those people converting and actually basically making sales. And again, that kind of comes down to perspective. A lot of people think that if they tell 10 people, they're going to have 10 sales, and it definitely does not work like that. You're more likely to get into the area of telling 100 people and getting 1 sale. Now, obviously you want the percentages to be a lot higher than that. So telling 100 people to get 10 sales, telling 1,000 people to get 100 sales, you really have to wrap your mind around getting out there and telling as many people as possible. And of course, posting the right stuff too. Like I mentioned in a previous video, like posting on Instagram and Facebook and everything like that, just basically creating your content. All those little mini updates in like the Instagram stories, those are great ways to constantly be telling people that you're doing stuff and making stuff without it coming across as like a sales post or a buy this now type of post. So once you kind of wrap your mind around a lot of that kind of stuff and kind of how much work goes into getting your stuff out there, posting it every single day, thinking about how many sales you should be getting in relation to how many people that you've told, that's when patience is really going to come into this. A lot of people get really frustrated, and I did the exact same thing when I first started out with this one. You get excited, you put it out there, and then you start telling everybody that you know within your circle, and within a few days you start wondering why you're not making more sales, and that's where patience is really going to come in with this thing. A lot of people will tell you that you shouldn't even expect to make money in the first year of a new business, and that's definitely true. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to make sales in the first year. What that means is you're putting a lot of time and money into this. Let's call it $10,000, $1,000. It doesn't matter what we call it. Let's just pick a number. So basically say you're putting $10,000 into this. You shouldn't expect to get 10,000 out immediately. It's just not going to happen like that. There's a real big growing process. That's why they tell you in the first year you're not going to make money, is because you're going to continue to basically grow it. And as goofy as, again, cliche as this sounds, it's basically like growing a tree or a flower. Just because you have the seed, the dirt, the water, and you put it together, why would you expect a full bloomed flower the next day? It just doesn't work like that. It takes time. You spent the money on the seeds, the dirt, the water. You didn't spend money on the water, hopefully, but you're going to put everything together and you're basically going to grow it. It's going to take you a long time. Every single day you're out there watering it. And it's the same thing with your business. You're basically out there creating it and growing it, basically helping it along so that it does grow into a full business. And again, a full flower. So it definitely gets easier, but in the beginning it's extremely hard because you're constantly pushing and you're constantly working for very little turnaround profit or kind of satisfaction in the beginning. So you really have to be doing something that you like. And if the candles is something you like, you definitely have to keep it up and basically change your perspective to not expecting too many sales in the beginning, knowing that you're going to get them further down the road, as long as you're growing your audience and basically working your ass off to promote your product and get it seen by more people. So again, taking this back to Etsy, Etsy is an incredible platform. It's very minimal fees on that one. It's a very good site. I know a lot of people that make a ton of money on it or made a ton of money on it before they switched to different platforms or their own website. But it is something that you're going to have to think about, but it is a site that you're going to have to kind of grow with. It's like I said, you're not going to launch your candles day one and get 100 sales. It's just not going to happen. That's not to say that it can't happen, but it would be 1 in a million for somebody to do that. And again, I don't know how that's going to work out. Whatever somebody does, putting the right hashtags or promoting it or whatever they're doing. But the likelihood of you launching your page on Etsy and getting 100 sales within the first month is just going to be non-existent unless you're out there telling people every single day. If you wait for Etsy to help sell your candles for you, it's not going to happen. It's never going to go anywhere. Etsy's never going to come through and find your candles and just put them on the front page because they think they're pretty. Their website and their algorithm and their business doesn't work like that. What will get you to the front page, aside from paying for it, is going to be traffic to your page. If you're going out there and you're generating hundreds of people to go to your page every single day, Etsy's going to notice that, or the Etsy algorithm, their back end, their website is going to notice that, and they're going to say this particular page is getting a lot of traffic, so they're going to promote that, and they will put those pages up to the front. But again, it's because you're directing people to that site. So I hope that kind of helps. I was looking through some of the questions on the DIY Facebook group, trying to get a little bit more insight into what people are thinking about this one, but I definitely wanted to answer this one because it's one question that a lot of people have, especially beginners. They just get into this and it's easy to overlook the work that goes in to get your candles sold and basically everything that goes into this in the beginning. A lot of people just think that you're going to launch this stuff and it's just going to catch like wildfire and you're going to start making sales like crazy. So I wanted to make this video to kind of set things a little bit more in perspective and give people a little bit better idea of what to expect in the beginning. And again, these are just my thoughts on this one. These aren't any hard set rules or anything like that. There are people that do extremely well from the beginning. The majority are going to take time to grow, and that's what I wanted to put across in this video. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts on this one, please let me know in the comments down below. I try to go through and answer every single one of them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any other ideas for the website, Pinterest, any other videos kind of like this one, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'll try to add it to a future video. And again, thank you for watching.